Have you ever heard a love story so bizarre it sends shivers down your spine? Today, we're diving into a case that blurs the lines between love, obsession, and unimaginable forgiveness. This is the true, and truly unsettling, story of Linda and Burt Pugach. Picture this, it's the late 1950s in the Bronx, New York. Linda Riss is a beautiful young woman, full of life and dreams. She meets Burt Pugach, a wealthy, charming, and much older lawyer who sweeps her off her feet. He showers her with lavish gifts, endless attention, and promises of a future together. It sounds like a fairy tale, right? But here's the catch: Burt was already married when Linda discovered his secret. She did what any sensible person would do: she broke up with him. But for Burt, rejection wasn't an option. This is where the story takes a terrifying turn. His charm morphed into obsession. He started stalking Linda, bombarding her with phone calls, and even threatening her life if she wouldn't take him back. Linda, trying to escape his grasp, moved on. She got engaged to another man, someone kind and normal. But when Burt found out about the engagement, his obsession boiled over into rage. What he did next is the act that would define their lives forever. In June 1959, Burt hired 3 men to attack Linda. When she answered her door, they threw a corrosive chemical lye directly in her face. The attack left her completely blind and with permanent, devastating scars. It was an act of pure evil, born from a possessive rage. Burt was eventually convicted and sentenced to 30 years in prison for his heinous crime. The man who claimed to love her had destroyed her life. You'd think the story ends there, right? A tragic crime, a woman's life ruined, and a villain behind bars. But this is where the story defies all logic and becomes one of the most talked about cases of the 20th century. While in prison, Burt never stopped contacting Linda. He wrote her countless letters, begging for forgiveness, insisting he still loved her and was the only one who could truly care for her. And then, the unthinkable happened. After serving 14 years, Burt was released from prison, and Linda Riss agreed to marry him. Yes, she married the man who had blinded her. They tied the knot in 1974 and, against all odds, remained married for nearly 40 years until Linda's death in 2013. Their story fascinated and horrified the public. It became the subject of talk shows, books, and an incredible documentary called Crazy Love. People just couldn't wrap their heads around it. Was this a profound act of forgiveness, or a textbook case of trauma bonding and psychological manipulation? Burt himself once chillingly admitted, "It was the only way I could keep her. I destroyed her so no one else could have her." Yet, Linda, in her own words, explained, "I know what he did was terrible, but I forgave him. I chose to move on." They lived a quiet life in Queens, New York, often giving interviews about their unusual love story. Burt Pugach passed away in 2020, 7 years after Linda. Their legacy is a haunting one, raising profound questions that we still grapple with today. Can you truly love someone who has abused you? Is forgiveness a sign of strength, or is it a form of denial? And what does love even mean when it crosses the line into complete control and destruction? The story of Linda and Burt Pugach isn't just a true crime case, it's a deep dive into the most complicated and darkest corners of the human heart. It forces us to question everything we think we know about love, forgiveness, and survival. What do you think? Could you ever forgive something like that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as compelling as I did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into incredible true stories. See you next time.